This is the continuation of my previous video from the repair of the Sun 1000 inverter. And last time the inverter repair just did not end up the way it should have. And today in this video I'm not showing you anything about the repair itself a second time, because nothing would be different than in the previous video, because we have been absolutely on the right path. It was just one small mistake I did, and that's why I was actually releasing the last video, because I wanted to hear your opinion, and I was hoping that somebody would give me the important hint. Thank you to you viewers. I had one reply to the video, which was kind of the moment for me where I realized there was the mistake. And yeah, this video is all about telling you what I did wrong, and as I said, we want to keep the video as short as possible. So I need to start with a shout out. I want to shout out to Bernd Wagner. He gave the comment which solved actually this mystery, and he identified the power supply as a flyback circuit, and he also gave me a hint which YouTube channel I could look into to kind of get some more information. And it was exactly like he said. I was looking up a video about flyback circuit there, and boom, I saw what was the problem, and yeah, that was it. So the mistake I did was I misidentified a component. So the broken component on the inverter was not a resistor, it was a completely similar looking inductor. Yeah, you know, I'm a beginner in this. I'm an electrical engineer, but I'm not an electronics repair tech or something like this. So mistakes can happen. Let's look into a little bit of video footage, and then we will just debrief the repair. A few more days have passed and I have got my inductor. Luckily I could source it here in Thailand. So, but you can see this is here the 2 watt resistor, and the other one is a 1 watt inductor. There's no difference in marking, they use the same color code, and if you now would say that this is a half watt resistor, nobody could actually blame you. So I didn't know about this. Inductors are coming in many different shapes and sizes, etc. I didn't really not know that they have one sort of them which are completely similar to resistors, through-hole resistors. So you have to be really careful to not make the same mistake by identifying a component. So without further filming, I will just put the inductor into the inverter and then install the inverter into the power wall to see if everything is working. So here we are again, we are in the power wall, the inverter is installed, and you can see it. The inverter is perfectly working now. We have output. The output is set to about 700 maximum, and yeah, but it's kind of there where it should be. 17 watts remaining on this phase. 715 are now exported. So yes, this was the only mistake which I did, unfortunately. You see, I am still a noob, but finally the repair was successful. I've drawn up a simple schematics of that input area of the power supply unit, and you can see we have the bridge rectifier, and then we have those 2 caps and our inductor. The 2 caps, those are the 2 yellow electrolytic capacitors, as you know from the other video, and in between we have our inductor. So that inductor initially failed, so the circuit on this side, which would then continue to go to the transformer, was dead, right? So by replacing the inductor initially with a resistor, the circuit was again closed, but of course the resistor was limiting our current. So this was no problem when the inverter was idling. The power demand here on this side was not high, so the voltage kept interestingly high enough and the inverter was running. But of course when the load was increased, the voltage would drop through the limited current there. But now we have again our inductor, and the inductor is actually stabilizing the current here in this area. And yeah, this is how it should have been done already at the first time. Success at the second try. I got a lot of good comments to that video. You know, some were maybe asking about the safety of when you have a problem in the power supply unit. Is it really worth a repair? Would you just scrap the board, buy a new one, etc.? But you know, this repair has cost me now $4, and I don't see a real reason why it would not be safe now to operate that inverter, because you know, an electronic device is a collection of hundreds or thousands of individual components, and maybe there was a manufacturing defect on that inductor and it blew up. I could really not find any other mistake with that inverter. I measured in front of that inductor, I measured behind. There was no indication of any unusual values measured, etc. So of course hope that this was it, and I will of course tell you if the device fails again. So thank you very much for all the comments. Thank you. You are really a great group of followers. I don't have anybody who is swearing or whatever, you know, everybody is really a good kind here on my channel. So thank you very much. This was the repair of the Sun 1000 GTL. Please, if you did not subscribe to the channel yet, subscribe to my channel, like the video, and I see you next time.